Hey guys, and welcome back to Smart Money Minds. In today's episode, we're going to go over some of the biggest and most common mistakes made in day trading, if not in stock trading in general. These are some of the mistakes that we do everything to avoid, but we still consistently make them. I myself am no stranger to these mistakes. I just love making days and weeks worth of winners just to lose it all in one or two trades by making these mistakes that I tell myself all the time to never make. Number one is not setting or respecting your stop loss. Every trade you enter, you should set a stop loss. This means that if a price drops below a certain point, your broker will auto sell your shares for a small loss. The reason why this is important is because you can prevent yourself from taking a big loss if you set your stop at a reasonable level. For example, if you entered a trade for 100 shares at $10, you can set your stop loss at, say, $9.90. And this is dependent on your support level, your technical analysis, and also your risk tolerance. At this point, if the stock drops to $9.90, your maximum loss is $10 plus your fees. But if the market responds accordingly to your analysis and it goes up to $15, then you got yourself a pretty big win. By having your stop loss there, it provides you a protection. Because if the stock drops to say $5 due to news, then you won't have to suffer a 50% loss. Some people will say that, I always get stopped out for a small loss, and then it bounces, and then I'm in the green, but because I stopped out, I miss out on a winning trade. But you know what, for me personally, I rather take multiple small losses to protect myself from that one time where it drops a significant percentage and I take that big loss. Because stock trading isn't about how much you can gain. It's about how well you can protect yourself from the downside. By having a stop loss, that also takes the emotions out of the game. By having a clear stop level, there's no emotional decision making. The decision has already been made ahead of time. Especially when you're thinking, maybe it'll bounce and go the other way and I'll move that stop loss. But if you start depending on hope and prayer for your trades, then your trade is already out of your game plan. Your emotions will cloud your judgment and prevent you from manually exiting that trade. And sometimes you'll even move your stop loss lower and lower just to keep your dreams going. Occasionally, your dreams do come true, and the bounce will turn around and you'll make a good winner. But that's no way to consistently trade and grow your account, because you be gambling. Number two mistake I find is chasing a play. You ever see something go up and up and up, and you start to experience FOMO, the fear of missing out on gains? Everyone on Reddit or on Slack chat is talking about it, and they're talking about how ABC ticker has gone up 25% in the last hour. Just even today, as I'm making this video, there's a stock ticker, Kern, went up 300% today. And you're just watching the chart and you want in. But once you enter, it starts hitting the top and it starts to consolidate. You lose 10% in 10 minutes. Fun! You take your losses, you go cry a little bit, and you go lick your wounds. By chasing something that's out of range, it's difficult to set a stop loss as well. There's no clear support levels, and you'll be playing a high-risk, low-reward game. The best way to counter this is to wait for clear resistance and support levels to form. This way, you can enter with a low-risk entry where you minimize your possible losses because you have a clear stop level. Remember that the only way to win this game is to lower your risk and maximize your gains. You increase your exposure greatly by chasing plays because they're A, unplanned, B, emotional, C, the play can be over just as quickly as it goes up, it can come crashing down. Unless you're very, very quick to take your profits and flip the trade, there's a good chance you'll end up with a losing trade. And mistake number 3, I find, is entering too early or lack of patience. You see a stock flush down lower and lower and lower, and you want to enter in for a bounce. However, you enter too early and the trade keeps going lower and lower and lower, along with your soul and your spirit. Sometimes the hardest part is being patient, and it relates back to FOMO, the fear of missing out on gains. And the issue is you don't want to miss out on the bounce, but you gotta wait for the chart to slow down, wait for some support levels to form, and then that's when you can consider about entering. Once again, this leads to a low risk with a possible high reward play. Lacking patience can also be found when we fail to let a winning trade develop or mature. Sometimes, as soon as we see green, we want to take profit. We want to make that a winning trade. But sometimes things don't move very quickly and the uptrend slowly develops, and this is when we have to move our stop loss to a new higher support level or to a break even, because once we do that and we watch and wait for the trend to develop and the trade to mature, then that can change from small gains to big life-changing gains. At the end of the day, the biggest mistakes that we make are the emotions that affect our trading. In order to be successful, we need to be strict, we need to be disciplined, and we need to follow the rules that we set for ourselves. If we become emotionally attached to a company, or trend, or even to our belief that we need to be right, then the market will unenthusiastically tell you and remind you that the market is always right. And you need to follow what the market is doing regardless of what you think could be right or wrong. So remember, we gotta trade like robots because they have no emotions. We gotta do our best to let our logic prevail every time. If we follow our discipline and follow the rules that we set for ourselves, then our trading win percentage will be much higher and you'll be much happier with a much bigger account. So in the comment section below, let me know what are your biggest mistakes in trading or investing. Have you ever done anything to try to correct them? Have you made your own rules, etc.? Let's talk about it so we can learn. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next time.